Hello everyone, welcome to the civics class. In this video, I'll be starting with the 6th chapter of class 10th civics, that is political parties. And students, as the name suggests, throughout this chapter will try to understand the role of the political parties in the modern politics. So let's start the topic. Firstly, let me introduce to you the meaning of political party. A political party is a group of like-minded people who hold similar views on political issues of the country. It is an organized group seeking to gain power through democratic means. In pursuit of these objectives, political parties field their candidates in the election held for the public offices of the country. In simple language, we can say that political party works on a centralized policy or centralized ideology where the party members work and agree on that ideology and work according to that. The main function of the political party is to contest election and hold position in the government. There are certain basic characteristics of the political party. So let's discuss that. Unity of purpose. A political party can only function well all its members are united on basic issues and policy matters. This again means that the members of the party, they need to work upon a common ideology. Then, organized system of working. The political party should follow some rules and regulations and maintain a certain discipline. Thirdly, constitutional means. It should work through democratic means to attain its objective. Fourth, national interest. The parties working for groups such as scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, factory workers are considered as political parties because they work on non-sectarian issues. Program and policy. A political party should have certain aims and objectives. Now, a political party must have these components: a leader, active members, and followers. Means a party without a leader. In the beginning, I have told you this thing that the political party must have group of people. So it is very essential that a leader need to lead them. So it requires a leader who can lead the party. Then active party members are required who can work for the party. Then a political party cannot survive without followers. So these three components are very essential for the political parties, without which the parties cannot survive. Recognition of a political party. The Election Commission grants recognition to a political party. A political party is recognized as a national party if it is already recognized in 4 or more states. Besides this, the candidate set up by a party should secure 6% of the total valid votes. The fundamental rights to form association of citizen is guaranteed under Article 19 of the Constitution, which protects the political party from undue harassments. Now, world across we see different party systems working in different democracies. So the prominent ones we'll be discussing here. Firstly, we'll try to understand the one party system. Means there are nations in the world where only single political party is there in their democracy. So let's see the advantages of having a single party system. It saves time and money which usually used in conducting elections. It reduces chances of corruption and wrong practices used in politics, generally for winning election and running government. So these are the prominent advantages of having only a single party in the nation. And there are certain disadvantages also. It gives no choice to the voters. It does not support the spirit of democracy. And the example of one party system is China, where only one party is there in the politics, that is the Communist Party. Now we'll discuss the two party system. The advantages of having two party system or the dual party system or bi-party system: it saves money in terms of conducting elections. It leads to less confusion among the voters to elect their leaders, as very definite choice is given to them. Since there are two parties, political parties, so the voters need to select leaders from only two parties. So less confusion is there. The disadvantages of having the two party system or the double party system: it limited choice is given to the voters. For example, USA and UK. In United States of America and United Kingdom, only two parties are there which contest elections, and the voters need to find their leaders from these two parties only. So a very limited choice they are having. Now talking about the multi-party system, there are nations in the world which are having diverse population and which allows the multi-party to be there in their politics. So let's see the advantages of having the multi-party system. It gives wide choice to the voters. It gives chances to form coalition governments. It allows a variety of interest and opinion to enjoy political representation. Here I have used term coalition government. Coalition government forms when no single party gets the majority vote in the election. So what happens in that situation? That the leading party with few more parties forms an alliance or forms a group, and then combinedly they form the government. They share their power in the government. So such type of government is called coalition government. So these are the advantages. If a nation is having many parties, so it gives choice to the voters. They can elect leaders from any party. There are chances that these groups or these political parties, they form their groups and form the coalition government and share their powers. A variety of interest and opinion to enjoy political representation. Talking about the disadvantages of having the multi-party system, it leads to corruption. Lot of money and time is used in conducting elections. It appears messy and leads to political instability in the nation, because no single party gets the majority vote. So every time, if it is a coalition government, many times coalition government fails. It leads to confusion among the voters to choose whom they need to choose, which party, which leader they need to elect. So it leads to confusion. And a very good example of having multi-party system can be seen in a country like India. Students, you must have come across many times the term political alliance or political front. So let me tell you what is a political alliance or front. When several parties in a multi-party system join hands for the purpose of contesting election and winning power, it is called an alliance or a front. For example, in India, there were three alliances in 2004 in parliamentary elections: the National Democratic Alliance or NDA, the United Progressive Alliance or UPA, and the Left Front. So this is again a feature of the multi-party system in the democratic government, where the political parties, they form their groups, and two or more parties, they combinedly contest election and forms the government. Now, in country like India, where multi-parties are existing together, the Election Commission recognized these political parties, and all the parties which are present in India, it is categorized into two categories. One is national political parties and another is regional political parties. So let's see what are the national political parties. There are some country wide parties which are called national parties. These parties have their units in various states, which follows the same policies, programs and strategy that is decided at national level. Election Commission has laid down detailed criteria of the proportion of votes and seats that party must get in order to be a recognized party. So let's see what is the criteria for a party to become a national party. A party that secures at least 6% of total votes in an election to the Legislative Assembly of the state and wins at least 2 seats is recognized as state party. A party that secures at least 6% of the total votes in Lok Sabha election or assembly election in 4 states and wins at least 4 seats in the Lok Sabha is recognized as a national party. So here is a difference between the state party and the national party. State party is confined within few states only, and 6% votes required when they contest election at the state level, that is for the legislative assemblies. Whereas if we talk about the national parties, then the national party needs to contest election for the Lok Sabha and at least 6% votes it requires. 4 candidates need to win at least in the election of the Lok Sabha, then the party can be called a national party. Now, according to the classification, there were 6 national recognized parties in India in 2006. Now their number is increased to 7. This development took place recently. So according to the syllabus, there are 6 political parties which are recognized as the national parties in India. These parties are Indian National Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, Communist Party of India, Marxist, Communist Party of India, Nationalist Congress Party. So let's start discussing these national parties in detail. So firstly, we'll discuss about the Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress was founded in 1885, probably the first national party or the political party in India. It played a dominant role in the politics. Under leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, the party sought to build a modern secular democratic republic in India. So these are the ideas that were taken during the time of Jawaharlal Nehru in the constitution. A centric party favoring secularism and weaker sections and minorities. Currently leads the ruling United Progressive Alliance. So the Indian National Congress, this party and other parties who have joined with the National Congress, they formed their group as United Progressive Alliance or UPA. So combinedly they contest election and forms the government. This is the symbol of Bharatiya Janata Party. It was founded in December 1980 by Shyama Prasad Mukherjee as the political wing of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh or RSS as we know. Wants to build a strong and modern India by drawing inspiration from India's ancient culture and values. Cultural nationalism or Hindutva is an important element in its conception of Indian nationalhood and politics. wants full territorial and political integration of Jammu Kashmir with India, ban on religious conversions, uniform civil code for all people living in the country irrespective of religion, and came to power in 1998 as leader of NDA. Means the NDA, or the National Democratic Alliance, this alliance or the group is headed by this party, Bharatiya Janata Party. This is the symbol of CPI, or the Communist Party of India, Marxist. It was founded in 1964. It believes in Marxism, Leninism, the idea that was propounded by Lenin, Vladimir Lenin, and Karl Marx. They support these ideas. It supports socialism, secularism, and democracy. These are the prominent ideology of this party. Opposes imperialism and communalism. Accepts democratic elections as useful and helpful means for securing the objective of socio-economic justice in India. It holds strong support in West Bengal, around 30 years, Kerala and Tripura. It is critical of the new economic policies that allow free foreign trade in the country. So they strongly support the indigenous trade. In 2004 Lok Sabha election, it polled about 6% vote and secured 43 seats. So this is an achievement of this party. Now Bahujan Samaj Party. This is the symbol of Bahujan Samaj Party. It was founded in 1984 under the leadership of Kasi Ram. It seeks to represent and secure power for the party, which included Dalits, Adivasi, OBCs and religious minorities. So this party represents the weaker section of the society. It inspired from the ideas and teachings of Sahu Maharaj, Mahatma Phule, Periyar, Ramaswamy Naikar and Babu Saheb Ambedkar. These are the leaders who stood for the upliftment of the weaker section. So their ideas are taken, their ideologies are accepted by this party. Its main base in UP and substantial presence in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Delhi and Punjab. So these are the states where Bahujan Samaj Party, this party is having its hold in these states. Now Nationalist Congress Party. This is the symbol of the Nationalist Congress Party. It was formed in 1999. It supports democracy, Gandhian secularism, equality, social justice and federalism. It wants the high officials in government be confined to Indians. A major party in Maharashtra and significant presence in Meghalaya, Manipur and Assam. And it is a coalition partner in Maharashtra government. This is a symbol of CPI. To nationalize units of production and service in order to remove economic and social disparities. This is the main objective of this party. To oppose both imperialism and capitalism, which are the sources of all miseries. To align with socialist countries. To improve the condition of working class. To preserve the cottage and small scale industries. To nationalize the wholesale trade in food, grains and other important commodities. So these are the some of the important aims of CPI. So students, till so far we have discussed about the meaning of political parties, some of its important characteristics. Then we have discussed about the nationalist and the state parties, and we have discussed about 6 important nationalist Indian political parties. So wait for the next video, we'll be concluding the chapter.